A collar strategy involves protecting a long stock or ETF position by purchasing a protective put option and selling a covered call option. The call premium helps to offset or even fully fund the cost of the put option and creates a defined range of outcomes. You get protection to the downside while limiting upside profit potential. So here's an example of how this might work. Let's assume that SPY is trading at $500 per share. An investor might choose to hedge below a 5% market sell-off by buying a put at the 475 strike price. In order to fund the purchase of the put option, the investor may choose to sell a 525 strike call option, which happens to be 5% above the market price. This would be done in the same expiration cycle. So why might an investor choose to use a collar strategy? Well, they would do this in order to define and limit risk in uncertain or volatile markets. Collars can be a very cost-effective way to hedge because the short call premium helps to offset the cost of the put. If one were to just simply buy a put option, that could be very expensive. And this is good for conservative investors who want the potential for a little bit more price appreciation along with some downside protection. Let's look at an example of entering into a cashless collar in QQQ. I am long 400 shares of QQQ, and this position is currently unhedged. Now, I want a hedge to kick in at roughly 10% below the current market value. So let's calculate what that would be. We're going to take the current market price of QQQ and multiply that times 0.9, and that would give us a value of roughly $514 per share. So we know what strike price I want to purchase puts. Now, I want this hedge protection to last through the end of the year, so I'm going to go out to the December 31st, 2025 expiration cycle and scroll down until I find the 514 strike put options. There they are, and we can see that in order to purchase those put options, we'd pay a debit of roughly $8.91. So I'm going to hit the ask to populate the trade ticket. And I want all 400 shares to be hedged, so I'm going to purchase 4 put options. Now, I am interested in selling some call options to help fund the purchase of those put options. So let's scroll down and see what kind of call premium is offered on the call side. And if I want this to be a cashless collar, in other words, I don't want it to cost me any money, I need to sell call options that are at least $8 and roughly 96 cents. And these 615 strike call options fit the bill. So I'm going to populate selling 4 of those, and we can see that we can enter that collar position for a net credit of roughly 24 cents. So what kind of upside price appreciation does this afford me in the QQQ position? Well, we take the 615 strike, and that's 44 points from the current market price, and that represents 7.7% of additional upside. So my 400 shares have the opportunity to appreciate roughly 7.7% to the upside in order to fully fund protection 10% below the current market price. So let's analyze this trade in the software to see how the overall position would perform if it was collared. As you can see, I am long 400 shares of QQQ, and there is the collar trade that I'm thinking about entering. I have several price slices selected in the software, and this assumes various prices of QQQ in 10% increments up to 50% and down to negative 50%. The collar position expires on December 31st, so that's the date that I have selected in the software. And when I highlight the P&L column, we can see how the trade would perform at expiration given the price assumptions in the price slices. You can see my risk would be limited to $16,000 and my upside would be limited to $24,000. And I just deselected the collar. And this would show me how the position would behave unhedged. And when I go back to the collar position and select it again, we can see how the position would behave if it is hedged. So limited losses and limited upside potential. So quite a drastic difference both to the upside and the downside. So entering into a collar position would definitely reduce overall position volatility. So this assumes that I am interested in hedging the entire 400 shares. Oftentimes traders look to only put on partial hedges. So I can play with the number of contracts that I would be interested in hedging, and we can see what the different P&L scenarios are based on those assumptions. This would be what it would look like if I decided to hedge half of the position. Let's look at a similar example in the Tastytrade platform. In this account, I am long 320 shares of QQQ, and I am interested in entering into the same collar position as the previous example. So I'm going to open up the December 31st, 2025 expiration cycle, and I know I want to sell the 615 strike call option. And let's scroll down to find the 514 strike put option. There it is. I'm going to hit the ask, and this populates the trade. I can put that on for roughly 30-cent credits, and I want to hedge 300 of the 320 shares. So I am going to increase the order quantity to 3. And let's look at this in the analysis tab of the software. And here we can see the profit and loss diagram for the position if I decide to enter into the collar. The row in the middle here represents the price of QQQ, and the row above the diagram represents numerical profit and loss to fit the visual of the diagram. So as you can see, the net profit is somewhat limited after QQQ appreciates beyond $615. It is not completely capped because I am still long an additional 20 shares, and the max loss is limited below the 514 strike put option. And again, max loss does increase slightly as the price depreciates because I have 20 shares that are unhedged. And we can see what the profit and loss diagram looks like if we play with different quantities. So the characteristics of a collar trade are that gains are capped at the short call strike and losses are limited by the protective put. Collars convert an open-ended stock position into a defined risk strategy. So what are the advantages and disadvantages? Advantages of collars is that they limit downside losses and are pretty flexible regarding expiration and strike choices. And the primary disadvantage is that upside is capped by that short call option. So when might traders want to use collars? Well, many times traders will use collars if they are neutral to slightly bullish on the underlying but want downside protection in case of a dramatic pullback. They're best used in uncertain or volatile markets and when protecting gains in an appreciated stock. They can also replace stop-loss orders. So here's the bottom line. Collar trades are conservative, capital-preserving strategies. They're best used when your priority is protecting downside using a low-cost structure, and you're willing to sacrifice unlimited upside in exchange for peace of mind. This video is for educational purposes only and does not constitute investment, financial, or trading advice. No recommendations to buy or sell securities are being made. All examples are hypothetical and for illustration only. All investments carry risk, including the possible loss of principal. Options trading involves significant risk and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Consult a qualified financial advisor before implementing any strategy and review your financial situation, risk tolerance, cost, fees, and tax implications. Options trading requires broker approval, and not all strategies are permitted in all account types. Returns shown are hypothetical and not guaranteed. Market conditions may change quickly, and results will vary based on market performance, timing, and execution. Read characteristics and risks of standardized options from your broker or at www.optionsclearing.com before trading options.